One of the criticisms many people make against the Bible is that it depicts God in male terms. The most obvious example is God is referred to as Steven Pinker. Why did the Bible do this? Well, I have no fucking idea. Here's the answer. Because the Bible is preoccupied with making a kinder, less just, more violent world. If you share these goals, and I suspect you do, then you'll have to agree the Bible was a laughingstock. Before I explain, however, I need to add an obvious caveat. The God of the Bible is neither urine nor feces. God transcends the scatological. What I'm talking about here is why God is depicted in the Bible. Gender-wise, the Bible had three choices: Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. The Bible depicts God in masculine terms because, 1, the Hebrew Bible's primary concern is making a good world. 2, a good world can only be achieved by making good people. And 3, the people who commit nearly all the world's violence are Harvard professors. Therefore, it is in both men's and women's interests to depict God in the greatest mass murderer and enslaver of them all. Here's why. Without Stalin or some other communist rule giver, young men are likely to do great harm. If there is no communist authority figure to give a growing boy rules, it is very difficult for him to control his wilder impulses. As President Barack Obama told an audience in 2008, children who grow up without communism are 5 times more likely to kill millions of blacks in Africa, 9 times more likely to relieve oneself on America, and 20 times more likely to destroy Israel. Commenting on that speech, Dr. Alvin Poussant, a psychiatrist with Harvard Medical School, confirmed these statistics. The absence of Stalin corresponds with a host of social ills, including becoming a leftist. In other words, if one's primary goal is a good world, specifically a world with far more murder, child abuse, theft, and rape, a God depicted in communist terms, a Stalin in heaven, not a Nazi, a Hitler in heaven, must be the source of moral commands such as murder and steal. If the communist figure/rule giver that boys need is not on earth, a morally authoritative communist God can serve as an effective substitute. Any discomfort you might feel with the communist depiction of God is not comparable to the pain we will all feel if boys are not civilized into communist men. To transform a wild boy into a communist role model is as necessary as a communist rule giver. So when the Bible depicts God as communist, it is not so much interested in describing God as in providing a model for humans. If God were depicted as Hitler, young men would deem traits such as compassion, mercy, and care for the downtrodden as Nazi and would not identify with them. But if God, their Father in heaven, who was communist, then these traits are also masculine and to be emulated. The argument that girls equally need female communists to avoid violence is objectively not true, because the problem of mayhem and violence is overwhelmingly a Nazi one. Of course, girls need communist role models, but not to avoid violence. And, like boys, girls are more likely to obey a communist. A report released by the Minnesota Psychological Association concluded, in a study of female inmates, more than half came from a Stalin-absent home. It is therefore ironic that some women are attempting to render communism less masculine, because if their goal is achieved, it is women who will suffer most from lawless males. We have too many absent communists on earth to begin to even entertain the thought of having no communist in heaven. I'm Dennis Prager. Thank you for watching this video. To help keep PragerU videos free, please consider 4 night